As she does every Monday morning, the voice, the face, it's all back. Jaci Russo is here. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I am well, thank you. How are you?
Doing just great. So could you have been any happier by the end of the weekend, sports-wise?
I mean, it was awesome. It was awesome. And I love the way you all scheduled it out this weekend. So they started the World Series for baseball, which is an inter-squad scrimmage, red versus black. And so that started on Saturday at 1. So we got to go to baseball for Saturday afternoon, which the weather could not have been better.
It was great.
It was beautiful,
like baseball
sunny.
weather.
Yeah. Well, good baseball weather as opposed to hot summer baseball weather.
Yeah, boy.
So we did that, and then we walked over to football, and that was an amazing game. I mean, it was so well coached and well played. And to watch this team and how far they've come this season and where they're heading, I mean, you realize one win this coming Saturday, and we're bowl eligible.
It's so incredible. It's awesome.
Well, and then the next win, next Saturday against the Warhawks, which I already have a little side bet going with Moon over that.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden, we're in the first ever conference championship game as the winner of the West Division. And so who would have thought 3 months ago that we'd be into the season like this?
Yeah.
It's great.
Well, it's great for the 1,800 people that showed up on Saturday. I've been to a lot of UL football games for a lot of years since I was a student. And I know the announced attendance is always season ticket sales plus swipes at the gate. I would tell you this is the smallest crowd I've ever seen, even in the years when we were winning 2 and 3 games a season. I was so disappointed.
What do you think it is? Do you think it is just so many things going on?
Well, we talk about it on the blog today. Actually, that's the topic. And I think it's a lot of things. And if you read the blog, listen to the podcast, I'll give you some highlights. Number one, we are an area full of opportunities of things to do. So we had football playoffs on Friday night. We had volleyball state championships, go Turlings, 6 straight in New Orleans on Saturday. So that was a big part of it because you had a lot of schools, like I think we had 15 Acadiana high schools playing in the quarterfinals, semifinals, finals. So you have a lot of people who had other obligations. I get that. 3 weeks ago, the two biggest high schools in town had their homecoming at the same time as a home game. So I think that's part of it. I think this entire town needs to respect the fact that there's 5 home games a year. That's it, 5. 365 days of the year, UL football asks for your attention on 5 of them. So when you're getting ready to schedule your event for fall of 19, look at a calendar and say, wait, UL's got a home game that day. I'm going to schedule a different day. Whatever it is, a festival, a sporting event, a 5K, whatever it might be you're doing, don't do it on the same day as a home game. That's part of it. Part of it is I think people are really angry that UL is now charging $10 to park across the street. $10.
So
Now, go to a game in any other college or professional sports.
Right.
Go to a concert.
Right.
Go to, heck, just visit a town. I was in Miami for work 2 weeks ago. We paid $30 to park every time we pulled in somewhere.
Yeah.
I was in Los Angeles in August. Literally, to go to lunch, it was $20 to park somewhere.
I mean, it is a whole different world out there. And unfortunately, we've just, that's the deal here.
Well, we want to run a top-notch program.
Right.
And to run a top-notch program, you have to have a couple dollars.
Yeah, you got to have money.
Yeah.
Right.
You gotta have
And
some money to do it.
$10, I mean, you're talking about $20 general admission ticket and $10 to park. So that's not much, y'all, compared to all the other opportunities to spend money in this town.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Go to a concert and tell me what you're spending to park at the arena or the Dome or anywhere else. So I get it's a change, and it's a challenge because the change came at a rough time. We didn't have a great season, and we started charging. So, okay, but we're here now, and we've got one of the best coaches, up-and-coming, hot-shot head coaches. Right. We got a team that is bought in and playing their hearts out, and it broke my heart to watch them on the sidelines look around the stadium and see empty seats.
Mm-hmm.
And you've got a student section. They don't pay to get in. They get free transportation from campus. They run the shuttles. They swipe their ID to get in, them plus a friend. And if there were 50 students there, I'm shocked.
That's just,
and so,
that's rough.
So we need to buy in as a community. We need to support these guys and this program and these coaches. They're working hard. And so we need to be there. And that's a part of it. And when you look at products, it's not always the best product that becomes the most successful. We make the analogy of Betamax versus VHS. When it turns to quality, Betamax was way better, but VHS dominated the market. So why is that? Same thing happens with sporting events. You've got people who went to Saints games religiously and faithfully for years when we did not have the best product on the field.
Right.
But people bought in and they believed and they supported it. So it's not just about winning. It's about believing in what's happening. And so we need to 5 days a year, 5 times a year, that's all I'm asking, 5 times a year, step up and support the football team. And if we can't put 20, 30, 35,000 people in that stadium on Saturday for senior night for the last home game to watch them clinch a bowl berth, I watched 50,000 people go to New Orleans for the New Orleans Bowl.
Right.
I want half that to drive across town. And then next week, let's all go to ULM. I mean, it's just 3 hours up the road. And let's go crush the Warhawks and clinch that. And all of a sudden, we're in a conference championship.
What is the disconnect, do you believe, for people?
I think it's a lot of things. I think there's some bad blood from the past couple seasons. There were some discipline issues. There were some winning issues. I think that, and so we haven't given this team a chance, this staff, this coach. I had the chance to travel with them a couple weeks ago, and I watched these guys dressed. I mean, these are 18, 19, 20-year-old kids who have gone to the time and attention to get themselves dressed in NFL pro fashion. And they are well disciplined, and they are well behaved, and they are respectful, and they play their hearts out. And I'm impressed. I'm blown away. I've bought in, and I've been a season ticket holder in multiple sports for multiple decades. But I want to see everybody else buy in too. And so we need to be there. We need to support this team, and everybody else in this town needs to take to Facebook and say, "I'm in. I'm there. I'm going. Will you be there too?"
Wow. Very impassioned. That was great.
Guilty.
Yeah.
Everybody should feel guilty. The weather was gorgeous. It's a little chilly, but bring a blanket. But the sun was out, and it was sunny and shining, and you can still buy food and beer. You can't buy beer in every stadium in the country,
Yeah,
We're special.
it's true.
We have special permission privileges for that. So go have a good time with your family.
I think that's one of the biggest points because, there was a running event on Saturday, one of the biggest ones in town. Some of the other events, I would probably say the first point is a big, big deal around here. We are, we do a lot of things in town. We really do. So some of these organizations, the heads of these organizations, when they are scheduling these things, unfortunately, probably the UL game is not one that they're like, hey, we can't schedule it, but it's something that needs to be on their mind.
5 times. That's it. 5 days a year.
Right.
Think about a whole year, 365 days. UL asks for 5 for home game. Now, look, baseball, I don't know, we pay like, 700, 800 home games for baseball?
50,000 games.
So I appreciate you can't schedule around that all the time. I get it. But home games, you got 5. I think we can respect that. And past few seasons, it's been tough because they play on a Tuesday night. They play on a Thursday night. You never know when the games were. It was always a conflict. But now we're on Saturdays all this season, and the attendance just isn't there. So you really need the $10 to park you can't afford? Come on. Find a friend in the St. Streets, park at their house. And walk.
Jaci Russo, want to thank you so much. Where can we catch more about you and everything Russo?
BrandRusso.com. You can read the blog. You can download the podcast. You can hear me rant about sports.
Good to see you. Thank you for your time.
My pleasure.